This is one of my favorites, trickle-down economics. They never worked. They never worked, and we saw that practically the economy went down every time it was applied, because in the trickle-down economics, in which nobody pays taxes, someone has to pay, and the very end is always the middle class. And that's what's created practically this big difference between the 1% and the 99%, because in the last 15 years, the 1% income grew 283%, and actually all the CEOs that complain and all Wall Street complains about Obama, actually they should worship Obama, because Wall Street is going fabulous. They're making the best profits ever, and I'm pretty sure with trickle-down economics that wouldn't be exactly the situation for the rich people as well. While this country has a big problem, the big problem is that now it's like a third world in which the 1% has a lot of money, the other percent, 99%, I mean the middle class is getting poorer and poorer. And it's not working. And the demonstration is because they use this. Where? In Europe recently, all the conservative prime ministers in Europe, they're using the trickle-down economics. Austerity, without investment. Look at Ireland, look at UK, look at Spain, look at Italy. The unemployment is going up to start. They are in double-dip recession. Spain has 25% unemployment, Greece 19%, Italy 15%, UK 12%. They're going exactly the opposite respect what the United States is going under Obama. So this idea that you want to propose something that is a failure, and you have this failure in front of your eyes, just look at what Europe is doing, it's ridiculous. Also because you cannot blame universal services. If you look at Norway, Scandinavian countries, they're not being touched by the recession at all. Let's talk about Libya. Libya was a very sad thing that happens, but we have to be serious about these things, because if we expect that we are completely out and immune by terrorism after what has been created in the United States to provoke terrorism, actually, this is the most stupid thing. If you expect that we will not have any more terrorist attacks, it would be ridiculous. And actually, nobody at the very end start blaming Bush day one about 9/11. They blamed Bush when they realized that practically in August 2001 he had been he was briefed about an imminent attack of Al-Qaeda on American soil and ignored it. That's the big difference. Libya is a completely different situation. It's a confusing situation because there were two things happening, and the New York Times confirmed that. One was the demonstration against the movie. The second one, an attack of Al-Qaeda. And they happened in the same time. As the New York Times a couple of days ago just confirmed that. So it takes time to get all the numbers and the figures. And the fact that you want to blame and politicize these things is awful. And actually Obama should have said, on top of what he's already said to Romney, Mr. Romney, you have no shame, because the father of the ambassador in Libya already said that you are politicizing, and it's a shame for that. And the mother of the Navy SEAL said exactly the same thing, that you are an asshole, that you shouldn't do this. I mean, when two people that are personally involved, and two American citizens are personally involved in their story on these things, tell you shut up, you should shut up. That's what Obama should say to Romney about this. Oh my God, Romney foreign policy, this is the funniest things ever. There are so many things to touch. First of all, his relationship with Europe started in the worst way. Just the British people, they hate him. So he already been hated by everybody in the world, even before even started to think he could be a president. And the funniest things going on in his not knowledge of things, when he went in Poland and went in Israel, he praised their healthcare system that actually is a universal healthcare, and that's the reason why the costs are so low. But he blames Obamacare that is not even universal healthcare, which is much more conservative, and is against all these things. So it doesn't even know what he's talking about. Talking about Israel, the situation with Israel is very delicate, as it should be, because there is a delicate situation. He was the guy who practically said clearly behind closed doors that Palestine is the problem. They shouldn't even deal with this problem. Instead, to talk about find finally a solution for two-state solution. And talking about Israel, actually, he cannot say anything about what Obama and Israel. I mean, it was the defense prime minister of Israel that praised Obama because since a long, long time, now they've never been so protected by the Americans in terms of protection, military protection, as they have been under Obama. So what are you talking about? You are not right to talk about that. Iran, you want to create a third world war. He insulted Russia, that is number one enemy. It's not Al-Qaeda, because he said that actually that we shouldn't even go and spend money to look for. Let's talk about outsourcing. The outsourcer in chief. It's very interesting because his son, they've been involved so much with China for a long time, and they're still involved with China, and all the investment that they have, as Jon Stewart showed in the Daily Show, still now Bain Capital in Ohio has a factory that's gone to China, and they have this disgusting idea that they put a Chinese flag on top of this building protected by Bain Capital, and remove the American flag. I mean, Obama should say these things, should stress this point. It's not just the fact that outsourcing in chief, the fact that he's got money in the Cayman Islands and Swiss bank account, the fact that practically the money that he's investing is not just a pension plan, it's much, much more than a pension plan. We all know that in our pension plan money, we don't know what they invest, but these are peanuts. Is it personally investing? Is it personally buy stuff with China? And then he talks about the trade agreements. Obama already made these trade agreements with South America and with other, already tough with China in many ways, already demonstrated. How this man can be tough in China if he's got his foot in China? Even the Chinese said to him, well, they complain, but they make business with us, referring to him, referring to Romney. So he's been attacked by the Chinese and by us in the same times. He looks like an asshole regarding outsourcing jobs abroad, while we need to create jobs here. He has no policies to create jobs here. And finally, the part I like the most, and the part that Obama didn't talk at all, that is his record in Massachusetts. Mitt Romney has the face to go on camera and say that he was such a good governor in Massachusetts. Everything was great. Women loved him. Everybody loves me. Bipartisan and bullshit like this. I mean, really? It was 47th out of 50 in job creation. And worse than that, we're the country that's been hit by Katrina, which there isn't reason for that. Their economy has been fucked up. And on the other hand, bipartisan, he vetoed 800 times, and it was overridden 844 times by the opposition. Practically, it was the Democrats legislator that managed the government at his place because he couldn't manage it. There was an elevator it was forbidden for the first time to anybody to go in this elevator because he has to go in this elevator. His relationship with the mayor in the state is unbelievably horrible. People flee the state because they couldn't find jobs. And finally, he's got the 39% approval rate in Massachusetts, and Obama is 25 points ahead. If he was such a great governor in Massachusetts, shouldn't people be happy about that? Shouldn't people show this love for him? It doesn't seem so. It doesn't seem that he's catching the attention of the people in Massachusetts at all. If you want an example, look at the governor of Montana, the Democratic governor of Montana, which got 61% approval rating in a red state. That's a success. This is success. If you have an approval rate of 60-70% in a state that is against your policy, that's a success.